Hey there, folks, and welcome to the show. So today I wanted to talk about something that's been around for as long as cinema itself, and it's something I'm sure we all know exists, yet for some weird reason we really never stop to talk about it. And of course I'm referring to the knockoff movie, or the mockbuster if you will. You know, these movies that are made by these smaller studios with a very limited budget and even less creativity that just keep crapping out these subpar knockoffs of big-time Hollywood hits. I mean, we see it all the time. I mean, movies like Ants, Deep Impact, Leviathan, Atlantic Rim, Transmorphers, Snakes on a Train, The Da Vinci Treasure, and believe it or not, even Mac and Me are all guilty of being just cheap knockoffs of whatever movie happened to be popular at the time. But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're all dog shit either. I mean, granted, the Alan Quatermain movies didn't exactly steal anybody's hearts, but there are a handful of knockoffs out there that I think hold up pretty well. I mean, the Revenge of the Nerds movies are pretty successful, and I thoroughly enjoyed Vice Versa. But there's one movie in particular that I wanted to take a look at. It's your basic Indiana Jones ripoff with a very thin plot and a limited budget. However, it did give us one of the best duos in cinematic history, and that's with the perfect combination of the legendary Lou Gossett Jr. and the immortal Chuck Norris, as they team up to search for lost Aztec treasure in the 1986 adventure film Firewalker.
Hear this.
Firewalker tells the story of two treasure hunters who team up with a spunky new partner in search of lost Mexican treasure. It was directed by J. Lee Thompson, who incidentally directed one of the Alan Quatermain movies, as well as a slew of other notable hits, including The Guns of Navarone, Cape Fear, Death Wish 4, and both The Conquest and The Battle for the Planet of the Apes. So before we begin, make sure you all hit that like, hit the subscribe, and let's begin the tale of the Firewalker. Our adventure begins on the dunes of some random desert, where treasure hunters Leo and Max are trying to escape some hot-headed pursuers. But alas, our heroes are soon caught. And then they're greeted by their arch-nemesis, the General.
Watch, you'll probably say something stupid like, "So, gentlemen, we meet again."
So, gentlemen, we meet again.
But the General's got some beef with Leo and Max, so he decides to leave them out in the hot sun to rot.
That to leave you gentlemen here in this wretched heat with nothing to drink would be a cruel and merciless act.
But what the General failed to realize is what a total badass Chuck Norris is. And before too long, Leo and Max make their way to civilization. And while they drink away their sorrows, they soon meet a lady named Patricia. Who has a little opportunity for our boys.
Gentlemen, I have a business proposition for you. I've recently acquired a map, and I'm convinced it leads to a great amount of gold. Help me find the gold, and we'll split it 50-50.
And now at first, Max and Leo kind of think that this chick is off her rocker. But they're soon convinced otherwise.
Keep your heads down.
And they take Patricia up on her offer.
Come on, Leo.
And soon the trio find themselves in Mexico, where an old treasure map takes them to a hidden temple. Not really a temple of doom per se, more like the temple of mild inconvenience.
Hey Max, Patricia's gone.
I swear I'm gonna get a leash for that woman.
And after swinging by the gift shop for some cheap souvenirs,
I knew we'd find something.
the trio are soon accosted by the locals. But luckily, Max and his crazy bullet trick saves the day.
Nice shot.
At the bar, the trio gets some useful information from the barkeep.
There is an Indian on this reservation. He's a very dangerous man. Even to his people, he's bad medicine. However, there is another that might be of help.
Meanwhile, creepy old Billy Bear is keeping a watchful eye. So Max and Leo go and pay a visit to the chief from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, who apparently after escaping the nut house, moved to the Mexican border where he's been hiding out watching old Lucy episodes.
I don't know why he puts up with her. If she were mine, I'd cut off her nose.
And he tells them the tale of the Firewalker.
You want me to tell stories? It's what I do best. Take a load off.
And he's pretty theatrical about it too.
He was called Firewalker because his soul could fly to the sun. He would gather his power, and his power was great. Legend says he flew to the sun, there to walk among the fire forever.
And then he gives Patricia a magical pouch to remember him by.
Protect you from the evil spirits.
Then back at their hotel, shit gets kind of weird when Billy Bear sends some chick to kill Max.
I bring a potion to protect you from evil.
I never turned down a good potion.
But Leo and Patricia quickly save the day with some help from the wise old Indian.
Good night, Coyote.
The next day, the trio find themselves in beautiful San Miguel.
Sentido opuesto, güey. Adelante. Vámonos. Vámonos.
And after settling in at their 5-star resort,
I bet they've got a great bar.
the gang starts to get a little testy.
Then stop acting like a dadgum sissy. I swear, you're getting as bad as that fruitcake girl.
Fruitcake? I'm a fruitcake? Let me tell you something, bucko. I happen to be a highly educated, open-minded person with an IQ that would put that pea brain of yours in the cellar. If it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here.
So they decide to hit the town and blow off some steam.
Heads or tails?
And soon they're making new friends.
Oh, no, no.
Doesn't feel good, does it? Say goodnight.
And after a useful tip from Mr. Pitt,
There's a small village 200 miles from here in the interior. Find a man named Gutierrez. He's the best guide in the country. Tell him I sent you.
the trio go incognito as they board a train. Meanwhile, Mr. Pitt sells out Max and Leo to Billy Bear.
They're going to Chahal tomorrow. Going to meet a man named Gutierrez.
Girl going with him?
Looks that way.
Good.
But he soon gets his comeuppance.
I'll get my payoff now, right?
You want your payoff now?
And on the train, Max and Leo run into some trouble.
Denle los sagrados sacramentos.
He wants us to deliver the last rites.
We can do that.
Amen.
Amen. What'd I tell you? Piece of cake.
And afterwards, they're soon chased by some soldiers.
Run for the banana field!
But they're able to make an escape. But the next day, they end up getting caught by some local thugs and brought to their camp. And things aren't really looking too good for our heroes. But then a familiar face shows up to bail them out.
I always said you were too pretty for jungle work, Max.
Corky?
Because I'm guessing John Rees Davies had a choice between either doing this or Temple of Doom, and he chose this.
He chose poorly.
But I will give solid credit, he sure knows how to throw a banger of a party.
Give me room. God damn it, that son of a bitch, move!
And then Max and Gimli reminisce of old times.
Oh, we had us some times, Max. You was a pretty good grunt.
And after gifting them a sweet-ass ride, Professor Otero bids farewell to our heroes as they resume their quest. And along the way, they stop for camp where Max and Patricia get better acquainted. But old Leo soon goes missing.
Leo!
And so the two are forced to go on without him. But Max is kind of an idiot.
This looks like a good place to cross. Damn,
What's happening?
we're sinking.
And not only that, he also can't swim for shit. And eventually, the two randomly stumble upon the exact temple they were looking for.
I knew it, Max! We found it!
And so the two take a look around, trying to find some secret door or some shit that'll lead them to the gold. And before long, they're reunited with Leo,
Don't worry, I'll get you down.
who was apparently kidnapped by Billy Bear, who has some plans for Patricia.
I will sacrifice her. With her blood, I will gather the power of the Firewalker, and my spirit will fly to the sun.
And as he leaves to deal with her, Max manages to free Leo.
This is the stupidest thing they've ever done. Out of way! Out of way! Don't stick!
Max and Leo then go to find Patricia, and as they slowly make their way, Billy Bear begins his little ritual. And just as Billy Bear is about to sacrifice poor Patricia, Max shows up and saves the day. And then they discover a secret staircase that finally takes them to their long-sought treasure. But as they load up their loot, they fail to notice the missing corpse of Billy Bear,
I think I'll buy the Barber Coast Hotel.
who's back on his feet and kicking everybody's ass. But with an assist from Patricia, they finally put an end to Billy Bear.
Good night, Coyote.
And soon our heroes are living the good life and enjoying their spoils.
Yep, from now on, life is going to be one big piece of cake.
When an old friend decides to stop by.
So, gentlemen, we meet again.
And that was Firewalker, a generic low-budget vehicle with a weak-ass plot, but hey, it's from Golden Globus, so I mean you pretty much know what you're getting into anyway. And overall, it wasn't a terrible film. I mean, the pacing was fine and the action scenes were competently shot. But for me, I think the real highlight of this film is the chemistry between Chuck Norris and Lou Gossett Jr. I think they work really well together, and I think it's a real shame that we never get to see them paired up in any other movie, whether it be Firewalker 2 or just any other zany action-adventure comedy. But alas, it was never meant to be. And at the moment, I believe Firewalker sits at 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, which to be completely honest with you, does seem a little too low. I mean, Batman and Robin is at 12%, and that movie was god-awful. But anyway, if you're looking for some good wholesome fun with a lot of action and a few laughs, you could sure do a lot worse than Firewalker. So until next time, folks, this is me to you, wishing you all the best, and reminding you to always keep it real. Bye-bye now.